Hello and welcome back to Sundown devlog number 8. Woohoo! I can't believe we made it this far. So let's just jump right into it. So we're going to click new game here. Couple things here that I want to point out. First off, we have a new little weird like plant enemy. And we have this barrier here that I changed. So the barrier is now visible. If you get close to it, it says kill all enemies. And I mean, we can kill the enemy. You also notice that the blood gem was changed there. And the arrows now stick to everything. And we have limited arrows. So a couple of big gameplay changes here. Basically what happened is when I was playing my game and having some of my close friends kind of alpha test the game for me, we kind of came to the conclusion that it was missing something, that it wasn't the most fun. And so I decided I need to switch up something. I began, watching a ton of videos, and I don't think that these few changes I've done necessarily make it incredibly different or super fun. I think there's still a lot that I need to work on with, impact and feedback and different things like that. But for right now, it definitely changes the way that you play the game. I also kind of worked on the hair just a little bit. It still doesn't look the best, but it's a little better than what it was, I feel like. Now, these arrows are still a little buggy, kind of. I think I've worked out some of the kinks, but right there you see that arrow's floating in midair. Then it falls after a little bit. So there are a couple things that I need to work on still. But as for right now, I am liking how it kind of turned out. Kind of this whole, you need to go recover your arrows after you've shot them. Now, as you see here, 19. Somewhere along the lines, I must have missed an arrow. And I definitely expect that to be the case. I don't expect it to be, work 100% of the time. So I am planning on putting in, arrow collectibles. Making it so it's not like, oh, I have to scavenge for my arrows every single time, but just kind of making it so it's like you don't necessarily have to do it, but it's nice. And I mean, sure, maybe you'll get 5 arrows a level, but maybe that's not how much you want. And you'll kind of see why as I move forward here. Actually, right there you saw I ran out of arrows trying to kill that spawner, so it's kind of a good idea to try and keep as many arrows as possible. Now, one thing I do want to point out is the character now has a double jump. I mean, it was always in the game. I just kind of hid it behind a power-up. So unless you had the power-up, you couldn't do it. And I don't know if I mentioned this last time. I changed how wall jumping works. So before, if you're just near a wall, your dude would automatically, jump on the wall. Now you have to be holding the direction of the wall. Otherwise, you won't slide on it. So I definitely like that change a lot better. Also, on top of being able to double jump whenever you want, there's now a run feature that just doubles your speed pretty much. And I mean, I don't know if you can notice that I'm not running here. I'm now running. That's a running jump right there. If I just do a normal jump for you, I don't even think I'll clear this. Oh, no, I did. So just some little changes there. Running definitely is, it's not like it changes a bunch, but it is fun. Now here, we have Donkey Kong. This is a huge placeholder, but this is my first, I have 2 bosses right now. Oh, crap. Ouch. Okay, this is not going to end well. This is my first, I guess, boss I kind of made myself, outside of the Godot tutorial that I took to make this. And he's going to be a giant monkey in the actual game. Oh, crap. I have to be careful here. And so I'm just going to pause while I talk. Also, we'll talk about this in a second. But I wanted a first area boss. And I needed sprites, and I was way too lazy to kind of program some in. That's why I'm using Donkey Kong. And basically, this boss just throws rocks, he jumps around, and he'll just chase you. That's literally it. It's a very simple boss. He has 100 HP. Now, the biggest thing that I like about this boss is that when you incorporate it with the system of limited arrows, it becomes way more challenging. Because before, it's boring, almost, because you just sat there and shot him. But now with the limited arrows, it's super easy to run out of arrows, and then you have to wait for him to fall off him. You have to go collect him. It changes the dynamic of the boss fight. Also, I have no idea what happened. I did not even touch the code to the pause menu, and it's freaking bugged. I can't click on anything. I have no idea why. Last devlog, it was working. This one, it is not. I don't know what I changed, because I literally didn't mess with this code at all. And nothing's attached to this code, which is just really weird. So I have no idea. And I've sat here probably for like 2 hours changing random things about it, trying to get it to work. I have no idea why this happened. So a little frustrating, but definitely something I guess I can look into a little bit more this week. Now we're just going to get back into the boss fight, and I'm going to see if I can't kill this boss without being hit. I'm now out of position. Also, it looks like sometimes these rocks get bugged and won't do damage when they hit me. Honestly, this game update brings a lot of bugs with it, but I'm hoping it's taking the game in a better direction overall, so yeah. I don't know why sometimes those rocks don't damage me and sometimes they do. It looks like if I'm moving, they won't actually hit me. Oh, there we go, I died. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on there. I'm going to go and show you just a couple other things here. Alright, through the power of editing, we are back here at the boss fight. Now, I just kind of wanted to show a little bit of how like this fight is supposed to kind of work. So you shoot him, you run out of your arrows, you're like, oh shoot. And then you'll notice the arrows will slowly fall off him. So now I kind of have to kite him over here. I have to wait for him to kind of jump at me over here. Oh, he's going to throw his rocks. Oh no. And they'll fall off him. So it does get a little difficult here. I'm going to sprint. I'll pick up all my arrows that dropped off him right here. Then I can shoot him some more. So it does become like a more interesting kind of boss fight here. Honestly, I got to figure out a better way to... I think I know a way that I can make those arrows drop almost immediately. Oh, and there he goes. He's dead now, and he drops a ton of blood gems there. So let's go ahead and I want to show you kind of the new paths we have here. So we still have the jungle path, pretty standard. If we come up here, we'll have a middle path. Now this is called the temple approach path. We can go there, but I do kind of want to show this off real quick. We have a different tile set here with this area. So some fun new tile sets we were working on. Let me show off this middle area because I did almost no level design. Every level is the same level. And there's only one enemy here, which you can actually find this enemy in the jungle. He's not in his correct place here. But I was just testing him out here. He's a little like tiki, I don't know, like some tiki mummy dude. So I'm just going to kind of show you how the enemy works here. And I'll just let that do the talking. Alright, so this is an enemy I'm actually super happy and proud of. Yeah, basically you just shoot the tiki enemy. He has a fun little death animation and some cool sounds. And then when you kill him, his ghost flies out for about 5 seconds and you can't shoot the ghost. I'll actually turn the volume up here, just so you can hear those sounds one more time, maybe a little better. And there it is, and then he disappears. So honestly, something that I really like, I think it's one of my more unique enemies. The rest of the enemies kind of don't do a whole lot. I think that one does just a little bit more. So it was a fun enemy to work on. It belongs in the jungle, and this is kind of the tile set. I don't particularly like this tile set, like at all. So I'm definitely going to change it, but it was kind of the things that I was working on this week, so that's kind of that. There's that death animation again that I don't know why, I just love it so much. It's like 17 frames or something, so. But yeah, let me see if I can't pop over to the, if I can't go to the secondary area with the other tile set. Okay, here we are in the new area. Let me go and kill this bat enemy real quick. This is the tile set, or at least the work in progress tile set of this new area. Oh my gosh, this bat enemy is going to kill me. Thank you. Now, yeah, I mean, it's the same area as before. It just looks a little different. I personally like it a lot better. Oh, I got hit by that fire trap. And yeah, I mean, that's really all that I can show here. It is fun. I do like these other enemies that I made. It's not every day I get to see them because I just spend a lot of my time in the first couple areas. But yeah, I definitely am liking how the tile set is turning out here. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Please no. Thank you. And so yeah, that's really, I think that's pretty much it. So when it comes to progress on the game, I mean, this week definitely leaves a lot wanting because, oh gosh, because I mean, there's probably more bugs than I would like there to be, and I mean, I just feel like there's not a whole lot that I've been able to show off this time. Obviously, I'm super proud of the boss fight that I was able to do. I am happy that I've decided to kind of rethink how I'm doing the game and kind of put it in a different direction. I don't know if it's the best direction yet, but it definitely, I mean, I think it's better than what I had before. It definitely plays a lot different. It's not just like mindless shooting. It's a little more calculated. So I'm going to see what I can do this week to just make the game more fun. I mean, I think there's a lot of games out there that you can polish them super well, and they can have great graphics, but like if your game isn't fun, then it's not fun. So the thing I want to focus on the most right now is just making my game fun. Is my game fun? Now, there were a couple of things that I didn't show off just because they're very little, but I can just brush past them real quick for you. The first one was some updated sprites for the jungle flyers here. This is their updated egg sprites, and the actual updated sprites of the flyers right here. They look a little different. They have a better looking eye. It's kind of ripped straight from the eye bat. Actually, that looked a lot better than what their current eye looked like. It looks more like an eye. And I changed the colors a little bit so he looks more green. And here's the tormented version of it. So, just some little changes there. I also changed whenever your arrow hits something. This is the effect it does. You probably noticed that in the gameplay. If you didn't, you can go back and look. It's a very subtle change, but it definitely makes the game just look a little bit nicer. So, there's that change in this animation here. Really, other than that, that's kind of all I have to show off this week for my devlog. Let's hope that this next week here can be a little more productive, a little more focused, and actually maybe work on implementing a lot more sprites and a lot more fun and just making it seem like my game is a lot more kind of there, you know. I definitely want to look into, I love this system of arrows sticking on everything, but I will not keep it if I can't fix the bugs. So I'm going to give myself maybe a day or two to see if I can't fix the bugs, because I even if it's this tiny little bug like that, like that's the core mechanic of my entire game. That's a bug that everyone's going to see constantly, like buggy arrows. And if I can't fix that, then I'm not going to keep that system. That's as simple as it gets. So let's hope that I can fix it, because I love how the arrows stick on stuff. I think it's a super fun idea. I just hope that, you know, it is fixable. And for any of you who are really good at Godot or better programmers than me, I will just show off the script for that very carefully here. I found it online. Here is the code. So we have our arrow. The arrow gets its velocity from the player when he shoots. So it shoots in the direction. This is what happens when and it's just a rigid body. This is what happens when the arrow hits things, right? So basically says, what did I hit? It changes the transform of the arrow. And that's really all happens. What happens when the thing dies? It says, okay. If it dies, then this is what happens when it's sticking. So basically it changes the arrow's transformation to match whatever it's currently on. When it dies, it says, okay, just create a new arrow there. Except the arrow will have the variable unstuck set to true. And when it's unstuck, it won't stick on anything. Which is nice because it means it's only going to stick on something once. So it's not going to hit an enemy and then fall off and stick to the enemy immediately again. So I thought it was super simple. The reason I changed this is because my old system had 4 different arrows. It was like, when I hit something, destroy myself, create an arrow in the enemy. And then in the enemy, it's like, oh, create this arrow, create this. And I was like, but before, I had 4 arrows. It was super sloppy code, and I didn't like it. So this is my attempt to try and put it all into one object, like one arrow. Instead of making like, oh, this is the base arrow, this is the arrow when it sticks, this is the arrow when it's falling. Like, I didn't like that. Like, I was switching it from like a kinematic body to a stick. Like, okay, now you're stuck in something, set a timer. When you're not stuck in it, destroy yourself, create a new rigid body, and then the rigid body falls. And then if the rigid body isn't moving, change yourself and destroy yourself and change it into a new arrow. And that just was riddled with bugs for obvious reasons. So this is it so far. I think that the main bug is that we're only changing the transformation of the arrow. And so then when it dies, it's not changing necessarily the position. And I know this is true because of some of the tests I've done. And so if I don't do it in this way, like let's say I just say that the arrow just gets unstuck, right? And I didn't destroy it and create a new arrow. What would happen is that it would actually jump the arrow back to the initial position that it's stuck on the object. So, and I've tried doing this with position. Like I swapped all these out with position, and it just didn't work. So it's a little weird. Definitely a lot more that I'm gonna have to look into here, but I need to get this code working and not bugging out. So this is definitely gonna be a challenge, but for the most part, I think it's a lot cleaner than what I was doing before, even though it looks like it has more bugs. So that's kind of all that there is to that. Huge thank you to everyone for continuing the support on this series. All right, I'm just going to see how far we can go this week and what we can get done, and I'm looking forward to next week's devlog. I think it's going to be sick. So thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. Have a great rest of your week. Later.